Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Thank you for joining us today at the book fair. We are here to launch a book that speaks to something all of us experience: making plans, setting strategies, and watching reality unfold in unexpected ways. The Strategy Paradox, a practical approach to real-world challenges by Dr. Yasho Vardhan Verma, looks at why even well thought out strategies don't always deliver the outcomes we expect, and how we can respond more intelligently to uncertainty. We get pleasure officially launched the Strategy Paradox and invite Dr. Yashovardhan Verma to share a few words with us. Welcome, sir. Can we launch the book first?
Yeah, first we'll untie the book.
Okay. Yeah. So you can speak a few words. Yeah.
You know, good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. This is a word very often used in management and corporates and business, and very little understood to how to make it successful. Now, in my own career, I started with Tata's, the Tata Administrative Services. And when I retired, I was with LG Electronics. I was the company of consumer durables. And after that, I became a strategy consultant for World Bank, for Google, for Apple, and a lot of other companies. And what I really found out that talking about strategy is the easiest, making a strategy is very difficult, and execution is the most difficult. And now I can hand it over.
Uh, so, if you question for you. So, what personal or professional experiences motivated you to write this book?
Oh, the first thing I joined Tata Steel, and when after did my MBA, a lot of young people who would be doing MBA, they want to go to the corporates and make strategies. That dream I had, and I saw that I could only carry papers inside the boardroom where Mr. J.R.D. Tata, you all must have heard his name, and Mr. Rusi Modi used to decide. And like I realized, unless you really first go into execution, learn small little things, you cannot make a strike. So I was clear that if you have to reach to the top, making a strategy is a very, very critical thing, but getting results is the most critical. Lot of strategies I was part of, which failed. Now I learned from them what not to do. I'll not name the company here. Very big ed tech company. You all must have heard of it. They had approached me 8 years back, just before COVID. You come up with us. And the owner was a very arrogant person. Now their valuation is zero. That time it was 70 billion US dollars. And I asked them, you would have understood. I asked them, why do you need me? He says, give me 4 days a month and just tell us about sustainability. Now, these management words are often very misused words. Sir is there, sir is understanding. What does sustainability mean? Sustainability means governance sustainability or business sustainability. I think that gentleman had both the problems. And then when I studied, and they were, the packages are very, very huge. 4 days, so much of money. I refused. They were amazed. Twice their top management team came and sat in my house. Sir, just come. I know they are not going to listen. So strategy is something. Jack Welch, you all must have heard. The famous CEO of GE, which turned around GE. I would be talking about some process. Jack Welch said, how I decided a strategy when people came and told me, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do. I went by my gut feeling. If my gut feeling said, yes, go for it, I went ahead. And so it's not only a science, it's a huge art. And it's your passion and internal feeling what to adopt. Because business is no more business. Let me tell you very clearly. Business is war now. Either you win or you are over. LG Electronics, I was the first person who started it. I can name some companies here. Samsung was after it not to enter. Sony was after us not to enter. We fought it out. And there were two best consultants of the world. I will not name them. We hired them from US. Once in 97, they told us if LG enters in India 2007 only, you will make a turnover of 500 crore and break even will be in 2010. These are the two best management consultants. We started in 97, 6 months, we were break even. 98, we made a profit of with 1000 crore turnover, and by 2007, we were 20,000 crore. So it is much more than a strategy. The organization is a very dynamic process. And the two, three things which, according to me, really paid is creating passion, using the manpower and the intellect, and getting it executed. These are the three biggest weaknesses in Indian culture. Getting execution in India is very, very poor. My experience, I can tell you, Koreans in white collar are 70% more efficient than Indians, and Japanese are 50% more efficient than Koreans. So the global efficiency level are something at different level, absolutely different level. And this is the problem. I'll give you another example. Very amazing things are happening in the world now. Chorus, Tata Steel. My first love is Tata's always, though I was an LG employee for very, very long period. I headed it when I retired. Chorus, market share in the world was 26%. Tata Steel market share of steel was 6%, and Tata Steel took over Chorus. Unimaginable thing. A dwarf took over Giant, though it could turn around only 2 years back, but it did take over. That was Ratan Tata's vision. So many a times vision is after vision, the strategy follows, and if you are persistent, you can do it.
सर थोड़ा सा माइक ऐसे कर लीजिए थोड़ा पास
Okay, sorry. Now there are so many things which are happening. I can quote you one case study. That was rated as the best case study by Harvard Business School for a decade, 2000 to 2010. And there were three most important findings. Number one, reward the best and reward unexpected rewards. I've done extraordinary, give me much more than extraordinary, and then people get motivated. Our companies start with peaking. इससे ज्यादा इनाम नहीं मिलेगा तो इंडिविजुअल भी उतना ही ज्यादा परफॉर्मेंस देता है. नंबर टू, killer software they had. Very important. Killer software simply means give a person a reward according to his performance. We are very emotional. Indians are known to be very emotional. He is a good man. This year he has not performed. Let us give him something. Next year no one will perform because of it. They have to see their performance to their reward. And third, teamwork we talk about. Individual excellence is something which is very, very critical. Teamwork carry on for a group performance, but individual excellence is something, and that was one of the criticism of Mr. J.R.D. Tata, giant. I am a big, big fan of J.R.D. Tata. Mr. Rusi Lala wrote a book, and he said his problem was he went by consensus. So extraordinary things did not happen in Mr. J.R.D. Tata's time. Ratan Tata went by his own thing, and extraordinary thing happened. So this is it. It's a very, very tough world. The best has to survive in corporates, in individuals, and those who will survive, sky is the limit for them. Actually, sky is the limit.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, your book focuses on real life challenges. Right? Was there a moment in your illustrious professional journey when a strategy that looked perfect on paper, like did not work out?
Oh, it happened so many times, and because of various reasons. You know, so many things are happening so fast. I was in a startup. Now, a startup is in too much of a hurry. A startup does not believe in owning resources because owning resources takes time. They want to just go ahead. No specialization. Everyone has to do every job. Now, the mind changes. Now, there was one gentleman, I'll give you two very interesting examples. There were two gentlemen who came to me, and he said they were into HR. We are developed some scale, and you just guide us as a mentor. And they had got a huge funding of about 100 crores. So now I can tell you, lot of funding goes without basic foundation work. So I sat with them and I said, show me the scale, the psychometric test, the new type. There was no basis. And but I got a political pressure. They were the one of them was his father was a central minister, very powerful minister. I cannot name him, and it did not work because the moment the any organization will adopt them, they'll talk about its reliability and validity. There were no reliability and validity. There were no longitudinal tests. So this was a failure. Another very interesting case. Once in my house, 4 students of Wharton School of Management came. One of them was a related relation of my very close friend, and they said, "We want to make you an advisor, and we want to do something." And just that year, they had passed out. Wharton is #1 this year. I said, "Okay. So how often will you meet?" They said, "Sir, every 6 months we'll come. We'll give your our opinions. You advise us." I didn't find them after 6 months. And next 6 months they didn't come. So once I was going on the airport, I saw the person who was related to my friend, and I said, "Come, come, come, come. What has happened?" He said, "Sir, what has happened? We are all from bottom. Their IQ, their scores are very, very high, and we all thought we are geniuses. So what I said is God's truth. So no one listened to anyone, and the whole organization collapsed within 6 months. Ego." Ego is another thing which kills. So individual work, but you have to work together with all ideas and working together. Another very interesting case I want to tell you is to me there's one role model. I had JRD and one lady. Now she's Mary Bara, and one decision which she took. She is now the first lady chairman of any Fortune 500 company. There are no lady executive chairmen of Fortune 5. They are all men. She was a CEO when it was said General Motors is written off. The experts, I studied all the things. And so I kept on a tab on. And when she came, one decision she turned around. What had happened? They had launched a car, Chevrolet Blue, about 1 year back. It had 150 accidents all over the world, in which more than 400 people died. Now the complaints were coming, but the General Motors was not accepting. They were saying no problems with the engine, but the sale gone down, and it was said it's finished. When she was made, she got the audit done, and she found that there was a problem with the engine. The problem was at 140 kilometers per hour speed, the engine would stop. The moment the engine would stop, the momentum of the car weight, the car will turtle and people will die. She decided to take back all the cars to the company from the world. It cost her $3 billion. सारे products वापस ले ली. Everyone said, "अब तो गई." But she came out with a new model in 1 year's time, and the trust on her was so high for safety. It was a huge success, and General Motors, that is why turned around. So gutsy decision, basic decision, foundational decision is the basis of a strategy. I am a big fan of that lady. She is now the executive chair.
So, many in our audience, are students and early career professionals. Like, how can they start thinking strategically even when they're not, decision makers yet?
There's a problem. There was a debate 4-5 months back when Mr. Narayana Murthy said 70 hours a week. And there was such a lashback, such a lashback. But I have worked on an average 14 hours a day for last 40 years. Very simple to have a strategic mind is whatever work you are given, try to do it in a better way. Think. Strategy starts building in your mind. We do it in a mechanical way, nothing goes. And we are, but the moment you think and improve your work, you are ready to work for more than 12 hours because you are getting involved in involvement creates passion. Think how do you improve, and your bosses will be impressed anyway. Strategy will, or their strategy is no big word, no big word, and it's very often misused. Strategy simple means if I have to go from here to here, how will I go? That is a strategy. Simple. Rest is all we talk something. We have to write a book to we saw talk some big thing, but this is as simple as this.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, like if readers, walk away with just one insight from this book, what would you hope it will be?
Look, very very important thing is vision. What is your vision? Any strategy which is not emerging out of the vision will go haywire. If you want to be a successful businessman, your vision about you, your organization should be very clear. Link all your strategies. And when you are executing it, you have to involve everyone. One of the reasons I've seen in one of the companies, it is doing very well, I'll not name it. The top management evolved a strategy and they said, I am giving decentralizing. And they gave it to a vice president, general manager, and it flopped. The moment the top management goes away from execution of the strategy, the spirit of strategy, so involvement, everyone has to be a part of a strategy execution. Very, very important.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful thoughts. We are now open to audience questions. Anyone has any?
Yes, sir. Sir, could you introduce yourself? Because I can understand. I can understand.
Sir, my name is Ankur. I am a working professional. I have been in telecom field, rather computer related field for the last 25 years.
Oh, I could feel
So the
it.
question that I have is the problem that I am seeing, and I'm part of the same.
Huh.
I'm network transformation planning senior manager for a company.
Hmm.
So what happens is there is leadership, there is middle layer management, then there are senior managers and staff, and then there is workforce. Now, people who are in the senior management level, they understand what are the pain areas, how we should perform. Leadership understands, but this middle layer, they don't understand. Everybody in the middle layer has their own set of driving factors and the push. Right? How do you deal with these kind of people when you have to drive a strategy? That
Yes,
is a very big pain area that I see in the organization,
I totally agree.
and if you can put some light on it.
There are various ways of doing it. As you are very, very right. This is one of the most critical areas why new things fail. And it is always said that the bottle of the neck is the narrowest. So it is the same thing which you are talking about. You have to involve them. I've practiced it. Involve them, communicate to them, involve them in executing, make it their baby. And if it is still not their baby, kick them out. Very simple. What can you do? There's nothing else. I've done this number of times. But mostly, if you are communicating, if you are involving, if you are empowering, and they are working with the same vision, you have to have a strategic principle at the top level, which they are following, then it's fine. And if do that, 90%. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. But it's a very, very critical question.
So the follow-up question is, if you look at businesses 10 years, 20 years in past,
Hmm.
they had a strategy because there was not many, impacting factors, unknown factors or blind
Yeah,
spots which
yeah,
would spoil the strategy. Although they were there and the businesses have failed. But in today's scenario, a lot of things are changing.
yeah.
A lot of businesses have moved to cash cows, to downward dogs and stuff like that. Now, I come from a telecom business, data center, infrastructure business. So it is a stagnant kind of industry. There is no growth happening at the world level. And there are factors influencing it like AI integration and stuff like that. What generally organizations do, they work on 3 to 5 year strategy. And when they want to derive a strategy for plus 5 years, it cannot be a hard factored rule, right? So when you are designing a strategy for a company or an organization, it has to be chucked out into different components, and there has to be a
Absolutely.
level of variation that we can add.
Absolutely.
How do you feel, or what would your proposal be if I have to design a strategy for next 10 years with respect to a particular geography, on a business? What is that I should be considering, looking at the upcoming changes that are happening in our society and
Okay,
technology?
very very critical question. But here I cannot name that product. It is entering India just now. I was in, and there are the two big names in India and US who are bringing it, and I was involved in those negotiations. I cannot name them. I have signed a confidentiality agreement. Technology is the most dominating factor. That technology which is going to enter in India, which is slightly, you would have understood, it is slightly touching your area, it, the existing will go down totally. It is very expensive. Initially, when I was introduced, I said, how can it be successful in India? But when I heard the great man of India talking and the great man of US talking to each other, they are crazy. There is no systematic strategy, please. That is the other extreme. But ultimately, the vision which is emerging is extraordinary. And telecom will get affected in a very, very big way in another 7 years. So it is the technology which will drive people. And that is why it is said, if you have to take the top 2, 3 people in any organization now, they should understand the technology which is going to even emerge 10 years later and the implications of that technology. They might not understand the technology, applications and implications of this technology. No one will understand in India. Another 2 months it is here, but its implications, etc., are huge. And if the CEO knows, the CTO knows, they will see 10 years from now. The Hugo's law. The Hugo's law says every year, every 5 years, the changes are very, very big, and it has been proven. Now it is going to be 3 years. 2008, what happened? Google happened, this happened, that happened. 2011, something else happened. 2008, 10 big changes happened. This is established. And that is what is going to be in a much faster speed, in a much bigger. I totally agree. And AI will disrupt everything. I don't know, he's taping me, but let me tell you one thing. Those people, because I'm associated with some associations in the world, they are saying now we are going to work on feelings, the AI people. Now, if they are going, it is logic, then feelings. The person who's going to create, he's a god. They'll be more efficient and productive people than the human being. All our jobs will be at stake. Only soul is left. So maybe after 10 years later, they might even work on soul. There is some chemical formula, physical formula in all those things. Only then all these things exist. These are very, very big changes in another 20 years. Basic will be AI. If they are right now, a lot of governments are saying don't work on feelings and emotions to the scientists, because थिंकिंग हो गई, फीलिंग हो गई, एक सोल रह गया, ह्यूमन बीइंग, और इसमें फर्क क्या, कुछ नहीं. This is the biggest challenge, that we'll be overpowered by something else who will be our bosses and we'll be subservient to them. These are very, very big, very, very big challenges. People are just looking AI and some loss of jobs. That's it. This is the beginning.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
You mentioned about AI.
Sir?
You mentioned about AI.
Uh-huh.
Next 2 to 3 years, it is going to be a heavily regulated sector,
Uh-huh.
and that will determine the future evolution. What is your thought on that? Because right now there is no evolution, and big five are playing uninterrupted. They're playing as God. But the moment different governments, and we are seeing it, Iran, Venezuela, or any other stuff, it is being used for disruption.
Yeah.
It is not used in a right way, but it is being used to create chaos and across countries. So it is going to be a heavily, heavily regulated sector. So how do you see the implications?
Look, right now in AI, they are very basic level. There are only 5 basic tools. Only 5 basic tools on which
When I'm
everything.
saying AI, I'm talking in combination with social media also, because
Okay, that is again, if you see bigger AI, this is a smaller fundamental thing. But the way it is going to develop, it can go in any direction just now. Governments are right now not serious. They are just thinking as job employment and business. But you are very, very right. It can be it is like a nuclear power, fission. It can be used for constructive and destructive.
And definitely it's not going to be used for constructive. It is a war tool at this point in time.
It will maybe both ways, but that is a very major problem. But the bigger problem is if they are going to play with feelings and logic.
And it's at least 10 years away.
It has already started. Let me tell you.
I'm saying that we only
Because AI, the way these things have happened in the application of some product, which has happened in 2 years, even this was not expected.
Yeah, but AGI is quite far away right now.
That is right.
So,
this 10 years, when it goes to 8 years, when it goes to 6 years, very difficult to say. But you are right. It has to be regulated. But then again, the definition of regulation now has been changed by Mr. Donald Trump. He says the most powerful will regulate everything. The whole definition is changed. I agree with.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Samaj. I'm 16, soon to be 17. What I've noticed in the elder life is many of us have one goal which we are thriving for, be it a corpus that we want to achieve, be it a way of living. But in our early life, we at least have 2 to 3 goals which we are working towards. One of them is marks, second is maybe I get into this entrance, that entrance, right? For example, I have 3 goals and each of them are equally essential. I'm working towards one which I have some ambition about. Second is a backup option which I, in case one doesn't work out, I'm going to be going to go for the second one. And third is my marks in upcoming classes. Right. We have 3 goals. We have made these 3 strategies, but the strategies we have made for all 3 goals are conflicting with each other, and compromising on any of these strategies would be essentially destructive for all of the goals. What is your take on that? Like, how should we combine these strategies to
Look,
integrate
in
life?
our time also we had number of goals. In your time you also have number of goals. Let me tell you one thing. I'm mentoring a lot of people. I cannot, some, 2-4 लोग हैं जिनका मैं नाम भी mention नहीं कर सकता हूँ. You have to focus on one big goal. Put all your effort. You have 24 hours. You have your own limitation of intellect, energy. You cannot put it in 2-3 goals. And if they are contradictory, if you are chasing 2 rabbits running in opposite directions, एक को भी नहीं पकड़ पाएंगे. अगर रैबिट एक को पकड़ रहे हैं तो एक रैबिट है, उसके पीछे स्लोअर रैबिट है, उसके पीछे स्लोअर रैबिट है. Put everything in one direction. All your energy, all your intellect, all your efforts, you will do something. Don't go in just the opposite direction. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
My question is about sometimes what I've noticed is when we are chasing some goals, the very closer ones get impacted by the results. Very closer ones get impacted because they are not quite happy with the results or the positive impact that it makes in our life. How do we deal with that?
Can you repeat? Can you elaborate?
The question is about sometimes when we are chasing our goals, our near and dear ones, they are not quite
Happy.
okay with that. And firstly, they try to mock. Secondly, when we are already on the path of achieving, they start saying negative things about it. How to deal with that?
Now, this is not the question about goal or chasing the goal. This is about involving the near and dears when you are going for something. Now, suppose you are chasing a goal and you have to work 12 hours for that, and your husband or your children are not happy about it. You have to take them away. Look, one thing is very clear. If you have to do extraordinary things in your life, first make yourself mentally and physically happy. Healthy and happy. Then make your family and near and dear ones physically, mentally and emotionally happy. Then only you can achieve. Anywhere there's a problem, you will not be able to give your best. The only way it is possible, to a large extent, still might not be possible, that you have to involve them. You have to sell them that they feel for you achieving them is so crucial that they become supportive. Many a times it's not easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Very, very good question.
Any more questions?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Yes,
I
sir.
have two questions.
Yes, sir.
First one is that I have in the government sector, but I want to join myself to in the business sector.
You want to shift to
In the
private?
business or startup sector to build something.
Acha.
What kind of strategy to adopt?
In which
So-
sector he wants to go?
He wants to shift to the private sector. business
Private
sector.
sector.
So you can have a seat here.
हाँ
Like
देखिए
in the startup.
startups
Startup.
startups देखिए culture of startup and most of the government sectors is very very different. I don't know about your company where you are working. You'll have to change startups. The burnout is very very high, very very high. There was a friend's son. He wanted to go. He was in finance about 15 years back. He got a job in a startup. He came to me. I said, you will have to work for 14 to 15 hours, no niche specialization area. And after that, if you want, and your packages will be high, you will be having ESOPs. But in most of the startup, let me tell you, 90% people don't get the ESOPs. Ultimately, मिलते नहीं, ये सब पेपर में होता है, ठीक है ना? और जब आप फिर बड़ी कंपनी में, because after 40-45 you would like to shift to a easier life, your package will be reduced by 30 to 50%. तो ये है, but jumping that is a big jump and a big risk because startups don't believe in owning a resource. Employee भी है, आज मेरा लॉस हो रहा है निकाल दो. They hire. That is a philosophy even for assets. बिल्डिंग खरीदेंगे नहीं, हायर पे ले लेंगे. टेक्नोलॉजी खरीदेंगे नहीं, हायर पे ले लेंगे. आदमी को भी वो समझते हैं कि हम हायर कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. So it's a big risk. The cultural shocks will be huge. Nothing good. I'm not talking about this is good or that is good. Cultural shocks are huge. You have to really think over it before you go.
And second one is what is the reason behind to write this book?
Oh, yeah. You know, I was a strategy. Lot of companies did ask me. I'm the lot of people, companies in Europe, US advising. Their name I have not mentioned here. They are among the top 5 companies in the whole world. But I found in Indian companies where I was advising, they did not really understand what is a strategy. हर चीज को स्ट्रेटजी बोलते थे और जो गलत हो जाता है बाकी सब पे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो गई, तुम्हारी वजह से गलती हुई, मेरी वजह से कोई गलती. सो आई थॉट एंड आई थिंक इट हैज बीन रिसीव्ड ओके. थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and thoughtful conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Verma, for sparing your valuable time and coming to our stall to talk about your book. We're offering a special 30% discount on the Strategy Paradox to whoever wants to buy. Please get a copy signed, and that is the billing counter. Thank you.
Thank you.